Okay, guys, welcome to your video for this weekend. Today what we're going to talk about are scatter plots. You guys have made a scatter plot before, but now we're going to talk about some cool things about scatter plots. First of all, we all know that a scatter plot is just a graph with points that have been plotted that show a relationship between two sets of data. Now, a new word that you might not have ever heard before is the word correlation. A correlation is just a relationship between two data sets. Okay? Now, there are three types of correlations that you're going to see today. There's a positive correlation, a negative correlation, and what we call no correlation. Now, the way we're going to demonstrate these to you is by showing you examples in a Glogster, because next week you guys are going to create Glogsters to demonstrate to us that you understand the three types of correlation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a couple of them that we've made for you so you can kind of see the different types of correlations. The first type of correlation is a positive correlation, and it is a relationship between two variables where large values of one variable are associated with large values of another variable, and small values are associated with small values. So basically all that means, if I look at this graph here, we're talking about beach visitors, people who visit the beach. As you notice here, as the average daily temperature increases, okay, as it gets hotter, what's happening to the number of visitors here? Well, I see that number is getting larger. So as the value on my x-axis increased, the value on my y-axis increased. Okay, see this trend that's going on right here? It's all going up. Okay, this is what we call a positive correlation. Okay, as my x value increased, my y value increased. As the temperature increases, the number of visitors at the beach increases. Therefore, that is what we call a positive correlation. Okay, so notice here on my Glogster, I have a table with all the temperatures and the number of visitors that were there. I would cite my sources. Now, this didn't come from a website, but if you did get the data from a website, you would want to source that. And then I have my graph, and I have some statements here about a title for my Glogster. So that's positive correlation. As one variable goes up, so does the other. Now let's look at a next example of what we call a negative correlation. Now my example for a negative correlation is my bank account. Okay, so you know, as you go out to eat, the more times you go out to eat, what happens to your balance in your bank account? It goes down, right? So before I've gone out to eat I started with $350 in my bank account. Then I went out to eat once, and I'm at $335.75. After 2 times of going out, I was down to $322.80. So as you can see here, I have a table of 10 different data points, and I see that as the number of meals I eat out increases, what happened to my balance here? It decreased. So that is what a negative correlation is. As one variable increases, as the number of meals I ate out increased, see the trend here of my data values? They're going down. This is like a sloping downhill here. That is a negative correlation. I have a statement written about that. As the number of meals eaten out increases, the balance on my bank account decreases. Okay, and I have a nice title here. I say what a negative correlation is. One set of values increases while the other decreases. Number of meals increased, bank account decreased. Okay, so that's negative correlation. And finally, the last type of correlation that we have is a no correlation. Let me give you an example of that one. Here I have the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, so I compared their jersey numbers and the weight of the players. So the jersey number, I have a player that has a jersey number of 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, and so on, and I have their weights, okay, listed here. Now, as I made my scatter plot here, I don't really see a trend that's going on. As the jersey number increased, the weight did not increase. As the jersey number, there's nothing to this here. There's absolutely no relationship between a person's jersey number that they wear and the weight that they are. Okay, so see this? The dots are just kind of everywhere on my graph here. There's no pattern to them at all. So that is a no correlation. There is no relationship between that set of data. So this is what you guys need to do for the weekend. You are going to be creating a Glogster next week. You need to start thinking of 3 types of correlations, 3 examples, one for each type of correlation. You need to be thinking of a positive correlation, all right? Something in your world that would represent a positive correlation. Then you also need to be thinking of a negative correlation and something that would be no correlation at all. Now you can either gather this internet from the gather your data from the internet, or if it would be easier for you, I would maybe take some polls of your friends, of family members, of neighbors. Go to the grocery store, go out to eat, wherever you do life. Start thinking of and collecting data for these types of correlations. Okay, so that's your assignment for the weekend, is to start gathering data, start coming up with the topics you're going to make your scatter plots over. You need 6 to 10 data points here for each type of correlation, a minimum of 6, a maximum of about 10. And then once we have all that data, we're going to be putting it into tables and making scatter plots next week. So that is your assignment that you need to have ready to go. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys later.